Hello and welcome to our 14th session, and in this session we are going to convert all the keyframe images into videos. We are going to use some large language models which are specifically trained to create videos either from text or from images. So here we are going to use image to video workflow. Now basically if you make use of Google Flow or OpenAI Imagine or any of these many online video creation tools, the main issue here is all those have the limitation of tokens. Say for example, if you have Google Flow, if you pay 25,000 rupees per month, you can generate a maximum of about 300 seconds video. So it works out to be too expensive. So the best solution for this is building your own workflow and generating these videos using your own hardware. And here I am working on 5070 Ti 16 GB VRAM. You can use these kind of workflows even on 8 GB 4060 laptop or on a 10 GB 3080 video card also. Let us start converting our keyframe images into video by adding life to them. Now before we continue further, in our previous session we had created all the keyframes. Open your Explorer and in DAI Studio renders, if you come into Hanuman, we had actually created these keyframes in our previous session. So if I double click and open this, the keyframes that we had created here, although we used IP adapter, face consistency is not correctly maintained. So you can see here the face has changed. The issue we had here was with the prompt. We had given a different kind of prompt for our reference images and a different totally incompatible prompts for these images. If you want to get exact consistent images, we have to tweak our prompts. Now, if you come to our Patreon page, so to get to our Patreon page, if you come into our YouTube video page or the e-learning page and if you scroll down in the description, if you click on more, you are provided with a Patreon page link here. Click on this link. Now if you come into the Patreon page, if you scroll down, I have updated all the keyframe generation prompts. So you can see here, I have provided it as a Word document and also on a PDF document. If you have any issue in copying it from PDF, you can use any one of them. You can download this. You can double click this to open this and use this prompt. You can use this prompt for the reference image, and based on the reference image, positive and negative prompts for every keyframe has been changed. And if you apply this prompt, then the image that you are going to get will be similar to this. For keyframe 1, we have 3 images like this. Keyframe 2, now you have a different type of close-up. So you have 3 images. Keyframe 3, you have 3 images. Keyframe 4, you have 3 images. Keyframe 5, you have 3 images. 6, you have 3 images. 7, you have 3 images. And for 8, I can use the old images itself. You can use the new prompt. If you come into the Patreon page and if you scroll down, apart from the prompt, I have provided you with 14 IP adapter keyframe text to image flux.json file. Click on this to download it. In your previous session, if you have not completed your workflow for this IP adapter, you can download the finished JSON file. I can launch ComfyUI now, and once it is launched, it has opened with our workflow. And if you doesn't have this workflow, I will just click here and close it, and I am not going to save it. Come into ComfyUI file, open, and coming into your downloads folder, you can select the just now downloaded IP adapter keyframe text to image flux, and just from the new updated text prompt PDF or doc file, take prompt for every keyframe, paste the positive prompt here and the negative prompt here. Choose this reference 2 as our reference image. By just giving this prompt, regenerate all your 7 keyframes. The other advantage you have in ComfyUI is, see, whatever image is generated with these prompts, I have shared you on the Patreon page. If you come into the Patreon page and in the download, I have provided you a link 14 Hanuman Spark keyframe images.zip. Click on this to download it. This is around 43.6 MB, and once it is downloaded, you can right click on this and extract all the files to your folder. So if I click on view large icons, I can show you all the images. Now in ComfyUI, you have one advantage is you want to know what workflow I have used and what prompt I have used for this image. If you want to know it, you can come into ComfyUI Studio. I will create a new workflow. I will come back to my unzipped folder, drag the first keyframe 1a.png into your ComfyUI workflow. And if you leave it, you can now see whatever prompt and whatever node workflow we had used to create that image, you can see it is available here. We had used reference 1 as our key image. That's why when you actually save these PNG files from the ComfyUI workflow, if I right click this and for you to show it, if I click on edit in notepad or open with code, if you just come and add word wrap here, see in this PNG file, initially you have the complete JSON code mentioned here, and after this JSON code, if you scroll down, this is actually the image content. But whatever workflow we had used, whatever prompt we have used will be saved along with your rendered output, and this is one very big advantage in ComfyUI. So now I will close Visual Studio Code and come back to ComfyUI. You can take the downloaded images that you have just now unzipped, create a new workflow here. You are seeing I have created a new empty workflow. I will come back to my unzipped folder and select any of the image and just drag it. You can see its complete workflow along with the prompt we had used to generate this image. I have provided you both with the prompts and also with the images so that you can drag and you can regenerate these images. Now I will close all these excess workflows here. Our next mission is to convert all these keyframes into videos. I am not going to build my ComfyUI workflow from the scratch. To make your work easier, you can come here in ComfyUI and you have an option here called as templates. When you click on these templates, you have many workflows provided to you by ComfyUI, and these will be constantly updated. I can come into template video and you have one WAN 2.2 14B image to video template available here. Now you also have a tutorial about this. So if I click on this link, this will open the ComfyUI tutorial about this WAN 2.2 video generation. You can go through this. Now I will come back to ComfyUI here and I am going to select WAN 2.2 14B image to video and I will click and open this. Now immediately it is going to show me you need a total of 6 models to be downloaded here. 1 to be placed in text encoders, 2 in diffusion models, 2 in LoRa's and 1 in VAE. And I can now close this window. If you now see this workflow, it may appear to you it is so small. You just have load image, image to video and save video. However, this is a very big workflow. Only thing is the workflow has been compressed into a subgraph. So you have one icon here. This is subgraph node. And if I click on this, you can now open this subgraph and see all the nodes present here. The negative prompt is present inside here. You can see this negative text code is written in Chinese. And to come back to the main workflow on the top, if I click here on the left tab here, I will come back to my original workflow. And if you have any problem in accessing these things from the template, come to the AI Film Studio Setup and Filmmaking Patreon page. The link I have already provided it to you. It's in the YouTube video page and in the e-learning page. And if you scroll down, I have provided one 14 Hanuman image to video WAN 2.2 14B JSON file. click on this to download it. Now come to the downloads folder, select this file, cut or copy, come into the PC, D drive, and in AI Studio, if you come into Windows, ComfyUI easy install ComfyUI, you have user folder. In that, come into default, come into workflow. I will come into Hanuman. I will right click and paste this workflow. Come back to ComfyUI. If you close this, now if you come into the workflows and open Hanuman, I have to refresh it now. You can see this 14 Hanuman image to video workflow open, and if you click on this, you have the workflow ready. See, the links here is already provided. You have to download the two diffusion model files, and you have to also download these two LoRa files. You have low noise safe tensor LoRa and high noise safe tensors LoRa. You have to download this WAN 2.1 VAE safe tensors and the text encoder. If you come into AI Studio models, and if you come into LoRa's, you should have these two files here. Come back into models, and if you scroll down, you have VAE folder, and here I have to download this WAN 2.1 VAE safe tensor. Then in text encoders, we have to download this UMT5 HSL FPA scaled safe tensor. Come back to models. In diffusion models, I have to download this WAN 2.2 14B low noise and high noise, both these models. Now if I come back to ComfyUI, you have the links to download this model. The location files is also mentioned over here, and we are now ready to create our video shots from our keyframe. To begin with, I have to first give the prompt. I have already created the prompt. If you come into the Patreon page and if you scroll down, I have provided you a link here, the video shot generation prompts.pdf. Click on this file to download. I have also provided you a PDF with all links to the models that is used in this workflow. So you can click and download it. Coming back to the download folder. So if you open this 14 model for image to video, if you open this, I have provided where to store it and the link. So you have two LoRa's, two diffusion model, one text encoder and one VAE. I will open this video shots generation prompt. Double click to open it. For every shot, we have the code that we have to use here. I will select the first prompt here, right click and copy it. Come back to my ComfyUI. First, I have to choose my image. So click on choose file to upload, and in renders Hanuman, I will select this keyframe 1a.png. Click on open. In the image to video prompt, this is the positive prompt. If I select the text here, I will delete it, right click and paste the prompt I just now copied from the PDF file. I also need a negative prompt. So I will come back to the document. I will select this negative prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI, and here you are not seeing the negative prompt. So to see the negative prompt, open the subgraph. You see here the negative prompt. It is in Chinese. Select this, delete it, right click and paste the copied code. We have to set the size and the duration. I will come back to my main workflow, and if you scroll down, right now the size is set to 640 by 640. I will choose a size of 1024 for width and 576 for height. The length, either you can choose 81 frames. If you have a better graphic card, you can even set this to 101. So these are the three parameters that I have to set. All other models are already connected. If I click on the run button, the execution will start. Okay, it is now finally rendered. If you see here, it has taken almost 42.82 seconds to render this on my 16 GB VRAM 5070 Ti machine. So if I come back to ComfyUI and if I play this video, you can see now this has been converted into a video file. I have got around 6 seconds clip now. I will stop the playback. Now I will come back and I will select second version of my keyframe 1. I am going to click on the run button. So now if I play it, you can see the video created. Now I will stop this and I will select my third version of my keyframe 1. With the same prompt, I have only changed the keyframe and I will click the run button. So now if I play it, you can see the third keyframe 1 that we had used, and we have got 3 short clips each of 6 seconds. I will stop, come back, and first I am going to change my image to my second keyframe, keyframe 2A. I will come back to my prompt document, scroll down. For the second shot, I am going to first select my positive prompt, right click and copy it. I will come back to ComfyUI, select the positive prompt here, delete it, right click and paste the copied prompt. Come back to prompt generation document, and in negative prompt, I will again select here, right click and copy it. Come back here to ComfyUI, click on this edit subgraph, and here I have my negative prompt. Select it, delete it, right click and paste. I will come back to main workflow and now click on the run button. Now if I play and check the rendered video, see this is the AI video that has been generated. You can see this 6 seconds video where the confusion in the eyes and in the expression can be clearly seen. Now coming back to ComfyUI, with the same prompt, I am just going to change the keyframe. So I will click on choose file to upload. I am going to select keyframe 2b.png file, click open, click on the run button. So once it is executed, AI generated video for our second prompt, and you can see how the expression of some kind of confusion or inferiority complex can be seen in the face of Hanuman here. I will close, come back to ComfyUI, and again I will click on choose files to upload, and I will select the third keyframe, click open, and with the same prompt, I will click on the run button. Now for the third image, you can see how the same prompt has even generated some lip movements also. He is just thinking and he is speaking to himself. Now coming back to our storyline, the third shot, we want Jambuvanta to enter and motivate Hanuman. If you come to the downloaded 14 video shot generation script. Now for the third shot, I have provided this a realistic cinematic mythological 2 shot at the seashore at nightfall. Jambuvanta stands behind Hanuman. Select this entire positive prompt here, right click and choose copy. Come back to ComfyUI. In the prompt section, select everything, delete it, right click and paste the copied prompt. Come into this subgraph, and for the negative prompt, come back to the document, select the negative prompt I have given to you, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI, select everything, delete it, right click and paste the prompt. Then come back to main workflow, and in the choose file to upload, this time select this keyframe 3 version 1, that is keyframe 3a.png, click open, click on the run button. So once the AI video is generated, you can see the expression, how Jambuvanta is motivating Hanumanta. So this is the first version. Close my preview, come back to ComfyUI. I will come back, choose file to upload, and the second version of my keyframe 3, that is keyframe 3B, click open, click on the run button. So now this is the second version. See how the expressions are seen, and in this version, Jambuvanta is speaking something. You can see here. So I will close the preview, come back to ComfyUI, and I will select choose file to upload. And I am going to select the third version of keyframe 3 and click on the run button. Now once it is rendered, this is the third version where Jambuvanta is speaking and motivating Hanumanta. Close the preview. I will now come back to my story outline, and the fourth shot is once Jambuvanta motivates Hanumanta, you see kind of glow in Hanuman's eye. For this fourth shot, if you come into video shot generation prompts.pdf file, if you scroll down for the fourth shot, I have provided you with a positive prompt. Just select this prompt, right click and copy it. Now come back to ComfyUI Studio, and here in the prompt section, I will select everything, delete and right click and paste the copied positive prompt. Come back to prompt document, select the negative prompt, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI, open the subgraph and come to the negative prompt here, select everything, delete, right click and paste. Now come back to the main workflow. In choose file to upload, click here, select the fourth keyframe first version, that is keyframe 4a.png, click open and click on the run button. The AI film shows clearly how you can see the glow in the eyes of Hanuman. After previewing it, I will close the preview, come back to ComfyUI, and I will come to choose file to upload, and I will select the second version of my keyframe 4, keyframe 4b.png, click open, click on the run button. Now this is the second version where you can see the glow clearly in the eyes. So I will close this preview, come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload. I will select third version of keyframe 4, keyframe 4c.png, and click on the run button. Now here you are also seeing a fire on the side. You can see the glow in the eyes very clearly. I will close the preview, come back to ComfyUI, come back to story outline, and I am now going to come into my fifth shot. I want Hanuman to walk forward. If you come into video shot generation prompt document, scroll down. For the fifth prompt, I have provided here the positive prompt. Select it, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI. I will select image to video prompt here, delete it, right click and paste the copied prompt. Come back to my document. Now I will select the negative prompt, right click and copy it. Come to ComfyUI, come into the subgraph, open it, and in the negative prompt select everything, delete, then right click and choose paste. Come back to the main work here, choose file to upload, and I am now going to select keyframe 5 first version, keyframe 5a.png, click open and click on the run button. You can see Hanuman is walking forward, and you can also see sand moving out at the bottom. This is the shot generated for our fourth keyframe. I will close it, come back to ComfyUI, and in the choose file to upload, I will now select the second version, click on the run button. Now this is the second version. This appears still better. So I will close this. Come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload, select third version of my keyframe 5 and click on the run button. Here you can see the third version of how Hanuman is walking forward. So I will close this preview. I will now again come back into my shot outline, and for the sixth shot, I want the Hanuman to just rise up and fly. Now for this shot, again if you come into video shots generation prompt and if you scroll down, for the sixth shot, I have given the positive prompt here. Select it, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI, select the positive prompt here, delete it, right click and paste the copied prompt. Then come back to my document, scroll down, and for the negative prompt, select the prompt, right click and choose copy. Come back to ComfyUI, open the subgraph, come to the negative prompt here, select everything, delete it, right click and paste the copied prompt. Come back to the main workflow and in choose file to upload, select the first version of my keyframe 6 and click on open. Now if I click on the run button, so this is the first version of our sixth shot. See how he is rising to fly. See now if I play it again, how beautifully he is rising up to fly. You can see the sun flares at the back. I will close this, come back to ComfyUI, choose file to upload, select the second version of my keyframe 6 and click on open and click on the run button. Now for the second version, you can see how he is rising. Now I will close the preview, come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload. I am going to select third version of my keyframe 6 and click on the run button. This is the third version that has been rendered. See how he actually jumps and even flies. This preview is still better. See, he jumps and he is getting ready to fly. So I will close this. I will come back to my story outline, and if you scroll down, the 7th shot is Hanuman is flying above the ocean. And for the 7th shot, if you come into video generation prompts and if you scroll down, I have provided the 7th shot prompt here. Right click and copy the 7th positive prompt, come back to ComfyUI, select everything in the positive prompt, delete it, right click and paste the copied prompt. Come back to the prompt document, select the negative prompt here, right click and copy it. Come back to ComfyUI, open the subgraph, and in the negative prompt, select everything, delete, right click and paste the prompt. Come back to the main workflow, and here in choose file to upload, click here. I will select the Keyframe 7 first version, Keyframe 7a.png. Click on open and click on the run button. So now you can see how he's actually not flying, he is just walking over the sea. So this is the first shot we have got. He is running over the sea. So I will close this preview. I will come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload, and I will select the second version of Keyframe 7. With the same prompt, I will click on the run button. So now you can see this is the second version of how Hanuman is flying. I will close this, come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload, and I will select the third version of Keyframe 7 here and click on open. If I click on the run button, so this is the third version of Keyframe 7. So now I will close it. I will now come back to my story outline, and the last shot I want is a shining petal or glowing ember across the screen for the title to appear. Again, if you come into video shots generation prompt, if you scroll down, I will select this positive prompt, right click and copy it, come back to ComfyUI, select the positive prompt here, delete, right click and paste the copied prompt. Now come back to prompt document, and in the negative prompt, select the prompt that I have given it to you, right click and copy. Now come back to ComfyUI, click on subgraph node, come here into the negative prompt, select everything in the negative prompt, delete it, right click and paste. Now come back to the main workflow, and here click on choose file to upload. Scroll down and select the Keyframe 8 first version here. Click on the run button. This is the first video that has been generated. You can see the spark or the flame animated. I will close this preview. Come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload, and now select Keyframe 8B version. Click on open and again click on the run button. This is the second version of our spark where we are going to add the title. I will close it, come back to ComfyUI, click on choose file to upload, and this time select Keyframe 8C third version and click on the run button. You see this third version. I will close. Now I will come back to AI Studio Renders video folder. I am going to rename all these things. Say I will select the first one. I will rename it as shot 1A. Then I will select the second one and rename it. Similarly, I have renamed shot 1 3 version, shot 2 3 version, shot 3 3 version, shot 4 3 version, shot 5 3 version, 6 3 version, 7 3 version, and 8 3 version. We have created all the videos, and with this we are going to conclude this session, and in our next session we are going to upscale all this video to 4K resolution. So for that, let us meet in our next session.